Hey stock and options traders, welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Karl Domm. I'm the original Real P&L trader. I've been trading stocks and options online since the mid-1990s. And if you're here to learn about trading or to figure out if a stock or options course on YouTube is worth the money, then make sure to subscribe to the channel. One of my goals here is to change this industry. I want to change the buying criteria when anyone wants to buy a stock or options course on YouTube. If promises are made by a YouTube instructor when selling a course, then I believe they should prove their credibility. And I only see one way to prove credibility, and that is to share their P&L. Not only share P&L, but also share the account P&L volatility, which means how much did the account value move up or down? If the account made 20% return, but it was down 60% at one point, then the 20% return is not a good return on risk. And sharing the P&L volatility is important because risk-adjusted returns are the truth. And this is why I share my P&L and I show my daily moves of my P&L. Now, I would not buy a course from a YouTuber that makes promises without sharing their P&L, and I hope you would not either. In this video, I'm going to go over my real P&L for the month of June 2022. I'm going to share my real P&L for the month of June 2022, and I'm trading 4 separate systems in 4 separate accounts. And before I get into the P&L, I want to briefly go over what the market did in June, because this will give an idea of what my trading systems had to contend with over the last month. And my question always is, what type of market was June? In my book, I go over the 4 market types for premium selling options traders. And the 4 market types are: number 1, the rising bull; number 2, the sideways market; number 3, the grind down market; and number 4, the crash market. Now, all the trading systems I trade are proprietary and were created to make money in any and all environments. And I call them level 5 trade systems. And level 5 is kind of like moving from a college athlete, level 4, to a pro, level 5, except when it comes to applying these trade systems, you can cut in line and go from grammar school level 1 directly to the pros, because the trade plans have etched in stone rules to follow. Now, level 1 through 4 trade systems do not profit in all market environments. And the only place to access level 5 trading on YouTube is right here on my channel called Real P&L. After taking and reviewing over 30 online stock and options courses, none of the option trading gurus or stock trading gurus on YouTube trade a level 5 trade system. They're all level 1 through 4. And I've never seen proof that a level 1, 2, 3, or 4 trade plan is consistently profitable. And I'm still looking, and if you see any instructors that share their P&L, please let me know in the comments below so I can take a look. Okay, so next I'm going to get into the market for June. Okay, so looking at the market for June 2022, we ended here at the end of last month, right at this candlestick at the bottom here. We came down as much as almost 12% down. So kind of went sideways for a while, hit a 12% decline in about a week, then popped back up around 8%, and now we're kind of back down again. Down 8.4%. Let's take a look at the VIX, how it acted during this time period. See right here, and here spiked all the way. So it started at 26, spiked all the way up to 35, and ended to up to 28. So it didn't have a, I wouldn't call this a serious spike. I wouldn't call this a crash. So as we look at the market overall, we can see it went sideways for a little bit, and then it had like a 12% move down, and ended up before down around 8.5%. But this is definitely what I would call a grind down market. Now, next I'm going to get into my 4 separate trading systems. The trading systems are: number 1, the safe wheel; number 2, the earnings edge alerts; number 3, the 5-step; and number 4, the premier level 5. Now, first, the safe wheel strategy, and this is a strategy I give away for free every Monday morning at 7:15 a.m. Pacific time, I do a live stream and I trade the account live. And I also answer any and all questions about the system in order to help people so they can learn it. And the easiest way to find the live stream is to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, and then you'll get notified. Now, here are the results for the safe wheel for June 2022. Okay, looking at the safe wheel, we started with $5,872 on the 1st and ended with $6,199. You can see that we really didn't have any drawdowns. Went down to 58.31. So we can do some calculations, but you can see that if we started with 58.72, went down to 58.31, that's not a significant. It didn't go down significantly at all. It's not even worth calculating. Down $20 or $40 or whatever it was. But let's take a look. Let's do some calculations on the returns for the month. So we ended with $6,199. We started with 58.72. About $327 in profit. Divide that by 58.72. And we're up about 5.5%. So we did about 5.5%. That's an excellent month for the safe wheel. It's up overall in the first 6 months. Let's go with $61.99 minus the 5,000. And that equals $11.99 divided by 5,000. And of course, this includes all slippage, all commissions, and everything, because that's the account value. Yeah, about 24% halfway through the year. That's vastly outperforming the norm. The back tests show about 10%. But 24%, that's an excellent first half of the year with anything, especially with such low drawdowns. It's doing quite well this year. So there you have it for the safe wheel for June 2022. Second, I trade my Earnings Edge alerts system. Now, this system is based on trading certain stocks coming into earnings, and the goal is to turn a small account into a large account. Now, this system has some volatility, so I would start small with like $5,000. What I like about this trade is the long gamma, which creates asymmetry, and asymmetry is kind of like hoping for a large move in the stock, either up or down, and the more it moves, the more profitable the trade becomes. Now, I started this with a $5,000 account, and I look to make one trade a week when earnings trades are available, and my goal is to make $300 per trade and win 3 out of every 4 trades. But lately, this system has had a lower than average results. And I've attributed this to the fact that I wanted to provide a trade every week in order to create enough occurrences to reach the goal of the high returns. And in order to have a high occurrence rate, one of once per week, I had to be less picky and go with trades with less potential. And when I take stocks and look at them, I have 8 filters that I like to use to pick. And recently, I've been less picky and gone with stocks that only meet 6 or 7 of my filters. And I found that these trades have contributed to most of my losses and have created larger losses per trade. For this reason, I have decided to only trade stocks that pass through all 8 filters, and this will cause less occurrences, and therefore the cost of the service at $259 per month may not be economical. In other words, the service may cost more than the profits being made because of the lower amount of occurrences. So what I've decided to do is only trade stocks that meet all 8 filters and lower the trade occurrences and charge less for the alerts. So the new price now is only $149 per month. Now, if the system does not provide a proven edge after this change, I will scrap the product altogether. So for June of 2022, for my Earnings Edge, I traded 2 stocks. I traded Occidental, Oxy, and Federal Express, FDX. And my current record is 14 wins, 5 losses, and 2 draws. So here's the account for June of 2022. Okay, looking at the results for the earnings edge for June, we started with, on the 31st, the last day of the month, we had $59.10. We ended with $46.90. You can see that here. We haven't made a trade for a while. So let's do a little bit of math. $59.10 minus $46.90, down $1,220. Divide that by 59.10. So down about 20%. So that's a significant move. We knew there was going to be volatility in this account. I did expect it to be up at this point. I did talk about changing the parameters a little bit. So yeah, we're down pretty good there. Now, how low did it draw down? Let's take a look at that. You can see some of the volatility that we dealt with. So 59.10, and at the lowest point it was 44.38. So that's 14.72. That's how much it drew down, starting at 59.10. So it had a 25% drawdown at one point and ended being down 20%. So there you have it for the earnings edge for June 2022. Third, I'm going to get into the P&L for the 5-step options trading success program. This system is proprietary. It took me over 3 years to develop as I kept racking my brain trying to replicate what I was doing in my larger portfolio margin account. I wanted to replicate this system in a regular margin account, and I back-tested over 300 different trade plans until I finally came up with a successful system that I could trade in a smaller account that outperforms the S&P 500 with lower P&L volatility. And I make these claims based on the last 10 years of backtest results along with 25 months of trading it live. And I have to make a disclaimer that since I've been trading it live, the system has not come close to outperforming the S&P. In fact, I'm going to move this product from a potential profit-making trade to a 100% training course. And the reason for this is because I don't make promises that I cannot keep. And after trading this live for about a year and a half, I realized the back tests were not matching the forward or real money result tests. And this could just be the market environment, and this could turn around in the future, but that is unknown. About 5 or 6 months ago, I realized the system was struggling, basically breaking even, and I changed the marketing from like a potential return-making system into a training system. Unlike other instructors, I share my P&L, and I do it for a reason, and I'm not going to try to create the illusion of success. You know, I see 99% of other YouTube instructors not sharing their P&L and instead focusing on creating the illusion of success in order to gain more revenue from unsuspecting students. And I have to admit, even though I share my P&L and create total credibility, I still struggle to compete for students. Competing with these guys that don't prove that they're profitable, but instead focus on selling the dream of unrealistic results is an uphill battle. But back to the 5-step. Since the 5-step system has been delegated to a training program, I will no longer trade it live and share my results, as I've already shown that it can be traded for close to break even with low drawdowns in order to learn how to become a level 5 or advanced options trader. Because this system uses regular margin, it's not as robust as the premium level 5, and it will not perform as well as the premium level 5, but the trade plan is as close to replicating it, and it's the best level 5 trade plan learning tool for people with smaller accounts like $6,000 to $8,000. Now, I would use this as a training program and trade with $6,000 to $8,000, and this is the last time I'm going to share my P&L of the 5-step account, as I had a trade close for profit earlier this month and I did not open a new trade. So I will show the account since the inception and some calculations from back in May of 2020. Okay, looking at the 5-step options trading success program, this is pretty much the last time I'm going to be showing the P&L on this trading system. You can see here it kind of went flat at the end because I stopped trading it. And it started in May of 2020, so I'm kind of going through the whole thing, about 2 years worth of stuff. And we started with about $1,453. You can see that on May 6th. You can see kind of the ups and downs here. We hit a low of, you can see here, $13,260. So we can see what our volatility was with the account. We can also see kind of where we started and where we ended. So I'm going to look at those numbers rather than just for the month. And I know it might be a little confusing. Sometimes I said I've been trading it for 28 months or for 24 months, but I went back and I looked and we started trading it in May. So that's accurate because I looked at the very first trade that was made there, and it was in May of 2020. So let's do a little bit of math. We started with $14,453. And at the low, it went to $13,260 over this whole 2-year time period. Down $1,200 at one point, approximately. So divide that by 14,453. So we're down about 8% at the lowest point drawdown from the beginning. So some of the other stuff I might have said maybe a little bit lower than that, like 6%, but it looks like it was 8% when I take into account the total account all the way through 2 years. Now let's see how the account ended. Started with 14,453, and we ended with 13,855. So down around 600 bucks. Divide that by 14,553. So down about 4%. So over a 2-year period, yeah, this thing lost a little bit of money. But the main thing, again, is the ability to learn how to trade properly. That's basically the account there. For the last 2 years, you can see. So not a lot of volatility in the account, not big drawdowns or anything. And there you have it with your 2-year history of the 5-step. As I stated before, the edge to selling option premium is because implied volatility is higher than actual volatility about 83% of the time. And the 5-step system is a great way to learn how to become a level 5 trader with a low amount of capital and with very little risk. You can learn exactly how to trade the 5-step system by purchasing the course, and I put a link in the description below. Now I'll go over my larger account where I trade my Premier Level 5 system. The Premier Level 5 trade system was put together in order to produce positive returns in any and all market environments. And this system was created to achieve excellent results with very low drawdowns in a live account. If you're interested in the backtest results for the Premier Level 5, I put a link in the description for the results starting in October 2011. Now, this account has span margin, allowing me to trade with more leverage in order to take advantage of a certain trade structure. But before I get into the Premier Level 5, I'm going to go over my take on the market for the month of June 2022. We basically traded flat to begin the month, and then we had a big 12% leg down with volatility remaining relatively tame for that large of a move. We hit new lows that we have not seen since December of 2020. And after that, the market looked to recover, and it was up 8% from the low before retreating back down a little bit again. So we keep making lower lows and lower highs, which is an indication of a downtrend. And a lot of traders are probably getting whipsawed, which means they're getting short, then taking losses, and then they're going long, and the market drops, and then they take losses again. So basically, when we talk about direction, I'm going to say what everybody else says. The market could continue to go down, or it could go up. But it's a good thing that the level 5 trader is not dependent on picking the right direction to be profitable. So the bottom line, the market direction is not predictable. And with this in mind, it's always good to have a non-directional system in your portfolio. The key is having a level 5 trade plan, which is a proper trade structure, a proper trade plan in place, and also it takes advantage of the premium seller's edge. Also, it's proactively hedged at the same time. If that same portfolio could be managed in less than 15 to 30 minutes a week, I believe you got a good system. I understand people trade to make money, but what good is the money without the time to go with it? And this is why I'm baffled when I see people spending their time learning how to day trade, which puts them in front of a computer stressed out all day. Not to mention day trading is unproven. Wouldn't it be more prudent to learn a system that creates both time and money? In this month with the Premier Level 5, I made 7 trades, and it took around an hour to hour and a half to manage the Premier Level 5. Now the system is proven, and it creates not just money, but time. And this is why I highly recommend learning about Level 5 trade plans and adding another dimension that can create a real edge. Now, here are the results for my Premier Level 5 portfolio for June 2022. Okay, here is the Premier Level 5 for the month of June. This is just totally not accurate. When you trade the futures at the end of the day, they don't really give you proper ticks and even amounts. I mean, you can even see right here, today is July 2nd. So here's the, it's a Saturday. So it says that it ended with $28,000, but you can see there's $30,000 in the account. So when you're trading futures, this equity curve right here coming from Thinkorswim is just not accurate. There's no way I was down to 24,000. You can talk to anybody in the group. I mean, actually the low point probably for the month was, I don't think we went under $30,000 for the month. But I'll take the end of last month's number, which was 30,105, and I'll do some calculations based on this $30,014 here. So we started with 30,105, and we ended with approximately $30,014. So $91 down for the month. And on a percentage basis, not even a 0.5%. The balance was actually above $30,000 most of the month. It hit 31,000, but it's difficult to see what the low was. But it wasn't very, more than $100 or $200 lower than this. Again, using Thinkorswim's chart here with using futures and options on futures, it's just not accurate at all, unfortunately. But there you have it for the PL5, the Premier Level 5, basically break even for the month of June 2022. Most of you would benefit from the Premier Level 5 trade plan alerts. This requires $30,000 and it uses span margin. And if you like the synthetic dragon, the Premier Level 5 is as close as you can get without investing in my hedge fund. The Premier Level 5 trade plan is a culmination of over 28 years of trading experience. I easily looked over 500 different trade plan ideas and did over 10,000 back tests to find this trade. And the trade plan took well over 40 hours just to backtest it. It has similar characteristics to the synthetic dragon, but it is a different trade structure with a very similar trade plan. This means management will be less than once a week, which gives the opportunity to trade less and live more. I will typically be doing adjustments on Monday or Friday mornings, unless in rare cases when something urgent requires an adjustment during other times. When following the alerts, I recommend making adjustments as soon as possible when I do, but most of the time it's okay to not to be able to follow the trade until later in the same day or even the next day. I mean, this depends on whether you can get a better price or within about 5% of the price I get. The main advantage to the alert system is that the instructor, that's me, that created the trade structure is guiding you on the most efficient way to extract the edge from the trade. If you trade this on your own, you run the risk of being margin called, as margin can unexpectedly expand and cause serious losses. Now the system has a $30,000 minimum recommended account size and uses options on the /ES, which requires span margin, and the cost is only $200 a month. The Premier Level 5 alerts is an educational experience for my subscribers. Watching me trade this in real time and watching how I handle certain situations will bring significant insight to the subscribers. I added a link in the description for the Premier Level 5 alerts. Now, if you have a smaller account, less than $30,000, you can follow my Safe Wheel for free or my Earnings Edge alert system. If you are more interested in learning how I trade options and eventually want to graduate to the Premier Level 5 system, I recommend my 5-step course for learning, and you can see the link in the description. See the link in the description for the Premier Level 5 alerts, the Earnings Edge alerts, and the 5-step course.